Good afternoon, everyone. Bonjour tout le monde. I want to first off extend a happy Easter and happy Passover to those celebrating across the province. Today I'm here to provide an update and then an announcement related to our continued support for families and parents in the province of Ontario. Earlier this week, the Premier and myself, along with other Cabinet colleagues, announced support for families, an initiative that is providing $200 per child under the age of 12 in the province to every parent. It is also providing $250 for every child up to the age 21 for a child with special education needs. This is part of our effort to do whatever it takes to support parents financially through this difficulty related to the COVID-19 outbreak. And I'm very proud to report to you that over 1 million children have enrolled, representing so far over $70 million that has been dispersed and in people's bank accounts, in the pockets of parents right across Ontario. There's more to do, there's more money to flow, and there's clearly more people that have to sign up, but we've made a really good impact, and I'm happy to see that money flowing leading into this weekend, this long weekend. I also want to fulfill a commitment that the Premier made some days ago in the context of ensuring parents are protected from those childcare operators, some childcare operators that are charging fees for services not rendered given licensed childcare operators are closed given the emergency order announced by the government some weeks ago. This has created some strain on a lot of parents in the province, working people who have automatic withdrawals of hundreds or thousands of dollars per month for childcare, for licensed childcare in the province. And so in consultation with Cabinet, the Premier is announcing and confirming that an emergency order has been signed and is in effect, that no childcare operator in the province of Ontario could charge parents for fees for services that are not being rendered given the closure period. This also ensures, part of our order is to mitigate and to prevent any childcare operator from giving your child's space away to someone else. You do not have to worry about that because within the emergency order we have enshrined in it a commitment to negate any penalty clause, meaning there can't be an additional cost imposed on you when the emergency order is done and hopefully the outbreak ends in short order, nor can they give up your child's space. So today we're confirming you are saving money, no longer charged for childcare that your child is not using, your spot is protected. This is important. And we're also working with the federal government in consultation with our federal municipal partners to ensure that our childcare operators remain sustainable, because one day, I know, we all know, as optimistic people, that we will emerge from this difficulty. And we need yet women and men to be re-entering the workforce. And our government believes childcare is important to ensuring that people could re-enter the workforce with confidence that their child is cared for. Especially important as we champion the interests of women re-entering and entering the workforce. And so childcare is important. The sustainability of the sector is important, and I'm very grateful to the federal government, our municipal partners who are working with around the clock to ensure the sustainability of the sector so that they exist. These childcare operators in small towns and big cities across the province are open for business in the coming weeks and months. So we're very committed to ensuring the financial interests of parents and students, and of course we're going to continue to take action, do whatever it takes. The Premier has been made clear to protect families.
Questions? This one's from Travis Denner. Why can't you give parents direction of the school year is going to be canceled or not to be canceled so they can plan accordingly? Other provinces have canceled the school year. As we get further into this crisis, we know that the possibility of opening for the hours during this year is pretty narrow.
You know, I appreciate full well parents want that predictability. We have the Deputy Premier and I, Minister Christine Elliott, spoke to the Chief Medical Officer of Health recently, where we communicated our hope to have as much planning certainty as possible so that we can give you the knowledge I know parents deserve, which is just to know the future of schools and the extension of school closures. I know this is an anxiety on everyone, on educators, on the students themselves. We're seeking the advice of Dr. Williams, the Chief Medical Officer of Health. He will guide our decision, but I want to affirm to you that as soon as I receive it, I will be communicating it to you, making clear the intention of our health advisors. But today, we are on track to maintain the May 4th. The Premier has said it's at least till then, and I think people know that it could be extended, and we're preparing for all eventualities. But today, the aim is really just to communicate on the childcare initiative that we're saving people money throughout this process.
Haley Cooper is every day we're hearing about the grocery store workers and there are other adding grocery store employees to the list of eligible workers for the emergency 24/7 childcare? If not, why? And is it time that the grocery workers or other essential workers be added to the childcare?
Yes, absolutely. The hard work of our women and men in the front lines, both in healthcare and within our supply chain, I think really deserve recognition, especially in Easter as a period as we reflect on sacrifice. And these are people who are working very hard to contribute to the sustainability of our economy so that we have food on the table and that we have a strong response from the health concerns of COVID-19. So, there's continued fluid discussions about how we can support more people through our emergency child care. I know that it is working and it is helping many families who work on the front lines. Cabinet will have those discussions, but I think what my first commitment to do is just to celebrate the fact that we have seen over 40 child care operators that have opened, some of which are coming on track in the coming days. We have capacity for over 57,000. And I feel confident that we will meet that capacity, but we'll continue to have discussions, including with a variety of other services within the ministry, across the government, to provide supports for them. So in short, my answer is we'll be looking at expanding that list based on consultations with Cabinet and with stakeholders.
Chris Sherwood from the Toronto Star, is Ontario considering doing something like BC where the province is supporting shuttered child care centres by covering fixed operating costs, rent, leases, payments, etc., while
Yeah.
parents can't pay?
We have leveraged the federal government. In fact, for the past 3 weeks, I have worked directly with Minister Ahmed Hussein, the federal minister responsible for childcare. I know that the Minister of Finance has had discussions at the provincial and federal level to advocate that the emergency supplements, the subsidy that's been announced to respond to COVID from the federal government, that emergency supports extend and include the childcare sector. And I'm grateful that the federal government has provided clarity and ensured that they have. And that's, I think, in large part because of families in Ontario who urge for that inclusion. And so childcare operators are eligible for that wage subsidy, for that support, the emergency support, and that is helpful. In addition, the provincial government will be working with our municipal partners to make sure that they have the supports needed to sustain. But between provincial, municipal, and of course federal contributions and programs, we feel very confident that the sector will remain intact and be able to be sustainable, notwithstanding the difficult economic landscape that we face today.
Cynthia Mulligan from City News is asking, I'm being asked by a parent if they have prepaid for their child care months in advance, will they get a refund? How will that work out?
The order essentially makes clear that they cannot charge fees. The order would have been signed by the Lieutenant Governor last night. So effective yesterday officially, that cannot be charged. So if there's prepayment, our expectation would be, as of yesterday, any payments that include months thereafter can't be charged, and that the operator will now need to abide by the spirit and the letter of the emergency order.
And that was the last of the questions. Thank you very much, Minister.
Okay, thank you.